Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Indo-Dutch Cybersecurity School. We are, in week 3 or 4 now, so we've been here for quite a long time. So I hope everyone is a little bit used to the schedule now. It's great to see everyone. I hope that the challenges are going well. We've got a bit of a special session today. If you remember last week or the week before, my memory is not the best. We had an amazing session with both Khushbu and Gaurav from Cyber People and the Blockforce Institute, who were talking all about the job readiness program. So this was a really, really great opportunity, and I hope that all of you have signed up for it and registered. If you haven't, I'm sure that there's still time. I'm sure Garth and Khushbu can, give a little bit more about that if you did miss it. This session is just a quick Q&A. So just for some more information, if you have any questions, once you registered or, before registering, if you're not quite sure yet, then they can definitely put your mind at ease. So just, so here we go. We already have the first question. So without further ado, I'll open it up to you. You can put it both in the chat or in the Q&A, but you can also raise your hand and then we can unmute you and you can ask it, in person. Sometimes that's nice as well. So with that said, over to you, Khushbu and Gaurav. If you want to say something and then we'll begin.
Yes. So I'll speak on behalf of both of us. So very warm after Diwali to everyone, and good evening once again to all of you. Again, Khushbu and Gaurav from a very cold and grey Netherlands missing home. Uh, what we were really happy with was the registrations that you're kind of getting into the spirit of this and job readiness is in your play. I'll just take a couple of minutes to tell you already about the questions we've received so that that can set us off. And then, of course, the whole idea of this session is to hear your questions and then answer it to the best we can. We got three big categories of questions. I'll just come to them. And the first category of the questions was regarding the money aspect of this program. Not one to shy away, but let's just hit it directly. Question was about installments. Can we do this in installments? And the answer is most certainly you can. You can do this over 3 installments. So that's the total amount is, let's say, X divided by 3 for each month of the program. And I think how this translates to is about the overall money is about 1.75 lakhs. It will translate to about 58,000 per month. And that's to make it easy ramp to get into this play. So that is definitely one category of questions. The second category of questions was what is the course date? When are you expecting to start? Yeah, it's between November 30, December 1 of the two dates, pick them out of a hat. But yeah, those are the kind of dates we're looking to start at. So very short and sharp on that one. And I like this last category of question. What's in it if we get it in faster, if we are sliding in the door faster? So we have spoken internally. We are introducing an early bird discount if you're able to slide in your nomination by the door, you get screened and everything goes well. And that's a very handsome 10%. So while the category of questions were around money, they were around start dates, they were also around job readiness, job prospect, job opportunities. But I think you will already have them in your mind. So, Alexander, we are happy to field the first questions and then just take it from there.
Amazing. So that's great. So yeah, type your questions in or raise your hands. And yeah, ask anything you want. And I'm sure that we can be more than they can be very helpful. So yeah, type away.
Yes, and I'll answer the first one. Chandrasekhar, it's on your screen. So the registration is on your screen, hopefully by now. And that's the first one.
Yeah, so I think that there is actually a question already from Chandrasekhar, how to register. Well, there we go, exactly on the screen, registration QR code. So that will be very helpful. I see that there is a question. How long does the program last?
The program lasts 3 months. It's about 4 or 5 hours per week. So that's a total of, let's say, X number of hours, about 50, 60 hours. But part-time, 4 or 5 hours a week over 3 months. That's the answer.
Amazing. Amazing. So don't forget, if you want to also raise your hand, that is sometimes easier than typing it out. That is also no problem.
We have 91 people on the call, so this is exciting. We had
Yeah,
already, yeah, roughly around the same numbers who have registered, so that's a good thing, right?
amazing, amazing. And don't be shy as well. This is, there is no such thing as a bad question. Um,
Yes.
that's
Take this moment, guys. Ask us
absolutely
whatever you want to ask. Job readiness, placements, clients, what to expect out of the course. Please go ahead.
So I see that there is
Um,
already one more question. They're asking, will we have chances to discuss with peers on the program and learn from each other, or is it all self-learning? I think this is a really, really good question.
that is a really sharp question, so thank you for that. Of course, you will have chance for peer learning. It is not just soft learning. It is not just how we prepare you, groom you, but it's also very hard technical learning as well. So it's a nice blend of hard learning, soft learning, peer learning. See, our whole background, mine and Khushbu's, is in the learning discipline. So we were HR leaders, HR heads, and so therefore we understand this space a little bit, and we have the network to make it happen. So the answer to your question is most definitely. We would be pretty silly if we missed out on the peer learning aspect. So answer is yes.
Amazing. And maybe just what I would probably maybe have as a question is as a follow-up, what is kind of the platform that you use to is it Microsoft Teams or is it something else or your own platform? Uh,
We have an open platform. Quite frankly, we have a panel of three, four very elite faculty, and they are kind of saying that I want to use this one and I want to use that one. So it is a faculty dependent and a skill dependent space as well. The SOC faculty wants a different one. The let's say the GRC faculty wants a different one. But in terms of interaction, we use Google Meet a lot. We can use Zoom as well. So those things are available.
Amazing. So you actually mentioned SOC, and we have a question. What are the requirements to become
Mm,
an SOC analyst? Uh,
great. As with all difficult questions, Alexander, I'll pass it on to Khushbu.
All right. Look, if you want to be a SOC analyst, of course, if you have a technical background, it definitely helps because you are actually doing threat intel, you are looking at the vulnerabilities, you are actually monitoring a lot of things that are going on in an organization. So if you have a technical background, great. But if you don't have a technical background, this is where we come in as blockers and cyber people, where we're going to upskill you and make you step into being a SOC analyst. So don't worry if you don't have a technical background. The requirements are just the motivation that you need to have. And if you are ready to step into this domain, we'll make it happen for you.
Amazing. So I see that we have a hand up from Vasavi. So I've just allowed you to turn on your mic. So please go ahead, Vasavi, and I'll let you turn on your camera as well so that we can see you. Go ahead with your question.
Sabi, I think you're on mute.
You are still on mute, Vasavi. So if you are able to, you are able to unmute yourself and then you can ask. But maybe there are some tech issues. So, keep trying, Vasavi. We would love to hear your question. But in the meantime, we have a question from Sana Kazi. Do you offer internships online or offline to gain hands-on experience for students in cybersecurity?
Yeah. So let me answer part one of this question, and then part two, I'd invite Khushbu as well. Part one of the question is our whole aim is to get you job ready, right? So we're bringing you from X to Y to get you job ready. And the idea is either a job at the end of the rainbow or an internship at the end of the rainbow, right? After you've come all this distance. We personally, Blockwork cyber people, us offering internship would probably be lesser value than, let's say, a pure cybersecurity company or an offshoot offering internships. What we do is we connect you to those who do. India, and what we are also hoping to do is also in the Netherlands, so both India and Netherlands, and of course wider Europe is in play. But that's the whole thinking behind this. I wouldn't call it an initiative behind this whole program. Khushbu, just keep me honest. Is that correct or?
That is correct. But to add to that, Sana, I would like to tell you that we do offer a lot of lab work while you are studying. So when you say hands-on experience, you are actually doing a lot of tooling. You're given the lab. You will be told how to set up a lab in your own space, and you will be actually doing hands-on work there. So when you say offline internship, I don't know what exactly you mean by that, but you will be given hands-on lab experience on how to do a particular or how to use a particular tool in a particular domain.
And Khushbu, if I can just pull in the thread from there, we are sending one pagers on both the at least the skills that we have, and you can have a look at those one pagers as well. So something will for those who register, we will have one pager sent out, so you'll know clearly what's happening, what's not happening. So Sana, hope we've answered your question.
Hopefully. We have question. And of course, if you have follow-up questions, please also, put them in. Do not feel like you're only allowed to ask one question. We have a question from an anonymous. Do you have statistics on the success rate from past students? How many get a job quickly?
Hmm. That's a good one. So I can tell you the year and the students and the background as well. We did a project for the government of Netherlands, exactly this in South Africa. In South Africa, the idea was to prepare students for the world of cybersecurity. There, the placement rate and these things can change, right? At that point of time, there the placement rate was 50% at that point of time. Things have changed in the job market. We do not, I would say that we do not guarantee a placement rate as we mentioned clearly, but for that initiative it was 50%. We then also have done another subsequent batch for that it was 25-30%. So these are the milestone numbers that we have. Again, don't hold us to these numbers because the job market is very volatile. What we can say is that we are experts in choosing the skill that gives you the best possible chance. So choice of skill that gives you the best possible chance, which are their greatest vacancies. And also, Khushbu, if I could bring you in through a question of mine, which will help the audiences, how if something was to work out in Netherlands, what are the normal ways in which this can work out? Like IDCSS students, they're interested in a career opportunity in the Netherlands. How can we help? What can we do?
Right. So in the Netherlands, there are two ways that you can get a placement. One is to get onto the payrolls of the organization directly. The second is to go through an employer of record, which means we have partners who take you on their payrolls and then sponsor your visa, make sure that all your paperwork is done, and then they deploy you further to their clients. You don't have to worry in this case because they are taking all the headache. And if you are done with that particular project with that client, it's their headache to find another client for you. So these are the two ways that you can actually enter the market of the Netherlands. At the same time, we are here, we together have approximately 25 years of experience in the Netherlands working with the clients. We've got trusted partners. So if you go through us, obviously, you have an edge over the other people who are applying directly. So in any case, in any situation, going through partners is always a better choice than going directly into the market out there and trying to swim alone.
That's very well put, Khushbu. What I would add is, and compliments to Alexander as well, is that the Indo-Dutch Cybersecurity School has really tested us out, taken our references, and that's the reason we have a seat at this table. Otherwise, if we were a tin pot company in the back of a shed, I don't think we'd be sitting here right now. So, so the very fact that we're here, it means that somebody trusts us to do this kind of a job. And hopefully they help us when the time comes. But yeah, that's another matter for another day.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in that sense, it's a great partnership for both of us, and I think it's a natural partnership as well. The IDCSS, the Indo-Dutch Cybersecurity School. You are already all here, and this is very open. We allow everyone to join, but it is those who really push themselves, and achieve the certificates. Those are the people who are who really can go further in this. So if you are passionate and if you are looking to build a career, maybe you're in the beginning of the career, you're looking for a change in career. The fact that you're here at the cybersecurity school, it's a great partnership to now take the next step. So, Vasavi, I see you've raised your hand again. Maybe you have more success this time. We'll just give you a couple of seconds to hopefully maybe this time you can you are more successful. Try again now. Hopefully.
The mute button, I think, is
Yeah, you are still muted, Vasavi, but you are allowed to, you will have to manually yourself unmute yourself.
If you're having issues, Vasavi, you can just type in your question in the chat. We'll answer that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, then, because I think unfortunately, Vasavi, you are having some issues. We have another really good question. Is there an alumni network for the program, or are there past students we can also ask questions to?
That's a great question. So the South Africa batch that we did, that Blockverse did alone, was about they have alumni students, but I'm not sure it will be very relevant to the people from IDCSS. We can connect to the 2-3 people who we're still in touch with, etc. But I think for India, it is being done for the first time. For South Africa, there is precedent. But I think what is a superpower at this point of time is the fact of our partnership with cyber people, because these are people who are actual recruiters, and they're on the ground, they recruit, they have client relationships, and that's a superpower we didn't have earlier. To answer the question directly, yes, there is an alumni. It's in a country which I don't know how the learnings are transferable. For IDCSS, the head of the company said this is the first time we're doing it from an India perspective, and so that should help.
Amazing. So, Shinara Sakar, I see that you have your hand up, so I will allow you the mic and the camera. Hopefully you have some less tech issues. Go ahead. But if it is also the case, then we do not have much luck, and you can always type out as well.
Yes, the chat would be very helpful.
Yes.
What skills and certifications? Okay. Let me take a first stab at this one, and then I'll pass it on to Khushbu. See, I've been a recruiter in the world of digital for a very long
Sorry
time.
for the quick delay.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Sorry, Gaurav. Sorry for the quick delay. Hi, myself Chandrasekhar. I just would like to view the course curriculum or contents and what is the course covers and how much is the duration and how much are the practicals that we would be getting covered. I haven't seen so. That's why I'm just requesting. So that I can just post the question based on the curriculum.
That is very valid. We were waiting for this session to happen to send a one pager across, Chandrasekhar, and we will be sending that one page where you will get a view. But if you want a deeper view, come talk to us. We're sitting around here in the Netherlands. So you're most welcome to book a call with us, to talk to us, and we could connect you to we can invite your question, throw it back to the faculty, play the bridge maker role. The idea is that we think we have a great stuff going. You can see a snapshot of photograph on one page. You can also talk to us, be with us. We're on the same WhatsApp, Telegram channels, and we'd be happy to share that again there. Does that answer your question, Chandrasekhar? So we can do this at multiple touch points.
Okay. So at least can you just give us some high level on what areas that this course covers, just some bullet points, and
Yeah, it's
also
a
yeah.
yes. It's a proper so maybe in this call it'll be best within half an hour of this call concluding, the one page would have reached you. You can then see it and then talk back to us also.
So just to add to that, Chandrasekhar, there are two domains that we are primarily looking at, which is SOC and GRC. If there is any other domain that you feel you want to get into, you can definitely talk to Gaurav. He can explain you, give you more information about it. At this moment, you'll be receiving two documents, right, Gaurav?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I think we were in the beginning of answering the question from Ram Karunya. What skills and certificates would be most helpful to grow in cybersecurity?
Yeah. And I was just saying, I've been a recruiter in the digital domain for a long time. See, the thing with certifications, and I'll just compare it to South Africa market for a bit. There are so many certifications going around, but people don't know how to do the job. And that I think is a huge problem across the digital world. See, cybersecurity is a vast domain. Within that vast domain, you have very subdomains. Each subdomain needs a different skill and a different certification. What our value proposition to you is, we will get you job ready. So you will know. So let's say if you're a car mechanic, you know how to change the tires, work the brakes, and not just certified to work the car, right? So we'll be teaching you how to get job ready, the practical stuff of a job. If Ram, you have a specific subdomain with the cybersecurity, we can tell you the skills and certification. Khushbu can talk more about it. But such a vast field, if you can narrow the question down, will be very helpful for us. Again, I would just say our job is whatever domain you choose, we get you job ready in that domain. So that's our job.
I agree, Ram. You have to narrow the question down because you can't just say what skills are required in cybersecurity. You need to tell me, do you want to be a SOC analyst? Do you want to be a GRC? Do you want to be an ethical hacker? Then we can, narrow it down to telling you, okay, for a SOC, you need to have this, and this certification, which is valid in the market. However, certification does not, okay, you have another. So to become a SOC analyst, what are the certifications? Okay. So
Okay, this is better. Yeah.
okay. So like I said initially, this is one of the domains that we are teaching in. And I think it's very hot. Market really demands this domain. After this call, like Gaurav said, you will receive one pager, which will tell you everything that's going to entail and what are the skills that you actually need to become a SOC analyst. Certification is not so important, Ram. I think in the end, even if you do, for example, ISO 27001 certification, you are cybersecurity certified. So you can go ahead and, start applying for jobs within cybersecurity. For a SOC analyst, what is very important is that you understand how to monitor things. And in order to understand that, you need a particular process to follow, which we are going to teach you. And the modules that entail all of the information will be sent to you. Does that answer your question?
Aditi, I like your question. How to make a good first impression in a job interview? Okay. Hey, listen, I've got a fascinating answer to your question. You may find it a little surprising. Long time ago, I met somebody from Bollywood, okay? And I asked her, tell me a little bit more about the insider workings of Bollywood and how do they make great first impressions when they meet people who matter. She told me something fascinating. She said, first impressions, actresses, actors, whoever is in the visible industry and wants to create a first impression is all about lighting. I was like, lighting? What sense does that make? She said, yeah, the people who work in the film industry are not beautiful. Lighting makes them so. So here's how I'm connecting it to your question, Aditi. It is important how you come across in the first 60 to 90 seconds because the job interviewer takes a snap judgment on you. And if you're online, ideally, this is what I have right now. I have a huge light in front of me. You should be projecting your best self forward in the first 60 or 90 seconds. Just a practical thing like lighting, feeling good, wearing good clothes. And if you feel the confidence, the person at the other end is able to respect that confidence. And I think in an online job interview, these things matter. In an offline job interview, the best way to make a great first impression is how you're able to come across. So we have all these techniques of how you come across in the beginning, confidence, body language, etc. And we teach all that. We've been teaching all that to our learners right from 3 years ago to now. Our background is HR digital, so we teach how to make a great first impression in an interview, and that's exactly the kind of stuff that we'll be preparing our learners on.
There is actually, I will just kind of add because there's a very related question, so maybe you can do a little bit more. You of course mentioned the job readiness. So they are asking, will job ready also include workshops on like softer skills like CV building or networking?
Absolutely. Let me take the first stab at it, and then the expert in the room can also answer it. Jobs do not happen through job boards or LinkedIn's. Almost all good jobs happen through networks. Somebody knows somebody who thinks highly of somebody. That's how jobs happen. So networking is crucial. So we take pains to explain what are the intricacies of networking, but also around how the you call it grooming, you call it soft skills. That's what we are really good at as well. Huh? We're really good at projecting, giving an interviewer a projection of what you are, not artificially, but naturally of how good you can be and your best self. I think that's what Blockburst Cyber people, we're in this, at the end of the day, we're in this game, guys. We're in this game of HR people selection. This is bread butter for us. Huh? So last time I think Khushbu said it. Thanks for the thing. But Khushbu, anything to add? Please do.
No, I totally, I've been running this business for over 7 years. It, I have never got a project all by myself. It has always been through a network. So networking in the market is the most important thing, which of course we're going to teach you. We're going to help you, make your LinkedIn profile more accessible to people. We're going to help you understand how you can build your CV. What are the places, what are the events that you need to go to, how to connect with people, how can you make a first impression there when you're talking to people, what are the things that you should talk about when you're meeting someone. So I think all this in combination with cybersecurity domain. So for example, you're sitting in an interview, of course, making a good impression is important, but if you're not able to answer technical questions, or let's say question related to the domain, you're going to lose points there. So we will have industry experts come in and help you understand and go through the whole mock interview. So you're fully prepared when you're actually sitting in an actual interview.
Yes. In the end, Aditi, I don't know who asked the question. If you are successful, we are successful. And that incentive alignment is super important. You're successful, you get a job, let's say at the end of the day, the credit goes to you. The credit also by default or by rub off also comes to us because our numbers look good. And that's, I think, the real game here, right? So we are incentive aligned.
I do want to take this question up, Gaurav. It's very close to my heart. So Rahul Nama is asking a question that in job descriptions, most of them ask if we have any professional certificates like ISC Square or Competia or etc. But those are costly. And some recommend that those certificates will be provided by the company once we get into it. But again, at entry, application itself certificate is expected. So how a fresher can pass through this? Okay. I'll also ask you, Gaurav, to jump in, but in my 20 years of experience, Rahul, you need to understand that you are not going to tick all the boxes in the job description. You will be a fool if you will keep waiting to have all the ticks in the job description and then apply. Trust me, if you have the personality, if you have the will, if you have the knowledge, if you have the skill, certificates don't matter. You can sit in an interview, you can explain the other person why I'm sitting here without a certificate, yet I'm worthy of the job. So do not worry about having this certificate or not having the certificate, because that does not hold in the interview.
The questions in the interview are not about certificates. The questions in the interview are, do you know the job? Can you, if I were to trust you with my job, with my car, do you know how to drive it? And I think that is the core importance. Yeah. So very well said, Kushbu. Completely agree. My experience as well. Wasabi has a question again, Alexander, I think.
Yes, yes. So maybe third time lucky. Um, so Savi, if you want, we will give you a couple of seconds to unmute, and hopefully, because I think you're very eager to ask the question. So, but and otherwise, for Savi, please type your question in, because I think it would be really great to hear from you. But unfortunately, I think we are not. There is something going on. But we do actually have a great question by Aditi again, also about interviews. What are some good questions to ask at the end when the interviewer asks any questions? I think there's always the pressure, you to have a good question to ask back to the interviewer.
Yes. See, I'll answer the question, but just before that, that's the idea of this whole cybersecurity pathways, huh? We prepare you for the interview, we prepare you for the hard skills. So the questions, Aditi, that you asked, we also, through the program, we pepper you with these thoughts, mock interviews, get you ready, and thing. But let me directly answer exactly to what you've answered, to the question that you asked. Point one, it's any questions. My personal view is you should definitely ask the question. So deciding between yes to ask and no to not ask, go always for the yes. I played tennis, and in tennis, the only thing you are certain about is the service. Rest, everything you're always reacting to the opponent. Service is the only thing you're sure about. Similarly, you're only sure about if they will ask you any questions. You definitely need to ask the question. The question needs to cover something about the job or something about the person. Ideally, you would have researched the job description, you would have researched the person who's asking the question, and you would be able to frame your question in such a way that the person understands that you've thought this through. When I was applying for an HR head interview, the best question that I could think of that I asked was, hey, there are many people who've come before me. What was common to the people who were successful, and what mistakes did the people make who were unsuccessful? Could you please answer that for me so that I'm well prepared? And the managing director loved that question. He told me later, because I want to know what makes success, and then therefore I'm ready. Aditi, I hope I've answered that question, but always ask a question. Okay, so that's a thumbs up.
Yeah, so we have a question from Madhu. Is the program relevant for someone with lots of experience, 20 years in this case, who would like to explore and transition to a cybersecurity role?
I can take a first stab and then the expert. Answer is definitely emphatically yes. We are not only doing this for, let's say, a profile which is younger in the game in that sense, more entry level in the game. We are doing it for everybody who also wants to transition to the world of cybersecurity because cybersecurity is experiencing a shortfall in talent. They are keen to get talent. As long as Madhu, you have the right talent, the answer is most certainly a yes. Which field you take, which subdomain you take, there should be opportunity. And the two subdomains we've chosen have opportunity, and we have a third subdomain on the product that will also have opportunity. But honestly, this is Khushbu's strength area, so I'll let her answer it as well.
No, I think it's you've answered it, Gaurav. So yes, it does help you transition. We need to have an intake with the person who's asked this question to understand what his background is, which is he technical or is he non-technical, and what is his area of interest. Then we can help him in understanding which direction he needs to go into within cybersecurity domain. I have seen many people transitioning after 15 years, 10 years, even 20 years for that matter. So yes, to answer your question, yes.
Most certainly,
Great.
Madhu.
So yeah, so there is a question. I think they are kind of actually, and another one. I think they are quite similar in terms of how much, how much expertise, how much knowledge should a student have in the field? How much knowledge should they have in the field before, I guess, applying for this? So, like, what is the bar of entry into the program?
Which one are you reading, Alexander? Sorry.
I'm kind of combining both the question of Sanakazi and
Okay.
Ayush Prasad to kind of, because I think they're asking very similar things.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you
So
want to do them separate,
no, no,
but
no. We've done research on this topic. So our teams and Khushbu and I, offensive security, defensive security. And we believe that in the defensive domain, things like SOC analyst, there is more scope, more helpful, uh, more job opportunities, more opportunities to make a difference. Uh, Digital forensics, bug bounty, in these fields, what job is there in the market? See, maybe we showed you in the first presentation we made, we analyzed lots of job families. Within the job families, we said these two definitely have jobs, but cloud security also has jobs. There are some other job families which have lesser number of jobs. We will be happy to offer those courses as long as we have the right number of people. But Khushbu, if I can direct you to Ayush's and Sana's question, maybe you'd want to take a stab.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what the question is, Alexander. Is it how many jobs are there in digital forensics? Is that the question?
I guess so. Yes, I'm trying to understand it as well, but I'm guessing that is a good question at the
Yeah,
very
so
least.
sure. Digital forensics is a popular domain. You can work in one of the big fours and you'll get a lot of work within forensics. There are also organizations that only do digital forensics as their key product. You can also work for the government of the Netherlands or India if you're working in forensics. So yes, there are opportunities, but if you compare them to other sectors, whether it's telecommunication or banking, or I think the larger part of being a SOC or a GRC or an ethical hacker has taken that space. So if you have to compare, I would still say SOC, GRC, ethical hacking is at a much higher range. But there are still jobs available within forensics.
And even in the Netherlands, Western Europe, there's a growing field, especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a question from an anonymous user. Do the students, do we pick which companies we get introduced to? So this is all, I guess, kind of once the program is complete. Hmm.
Do you want to take a stab and then, sorry, yeah.
No, you have to repeat this for me, Alex. Do we?
Do we pick which companies we get introduced to?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but there definitely will be an opportunity for you where if you do not want to go for that particular organization, you can choose that. However, we are going to make it available for you as and when the opportunity comes. At this moment, we are getting you ready for the job market, and that is the motive behind this whole presentation and the course that we are getting into. However, if you want to make a choice of the clients that you want to be introduced to, absolutely. We do not go and randomly send CVs to any client and every client. We definitely will have an intake with you. We'll tell you that this is the organization. If we do not have your consent, then we will not go ahead.
Yeah, if I can build on Khushbu, whoever has asked the question, it's your life. Yeah, you're taking a decision on your life and your company and where you want to join. What we are saying is, if you get skilled by us and we are interested in your placement, you sit on something very attractive, which is our database. Our database of people who are in IDCSS alumni, who've gone through our course, and then we can write to the companies and get involved. So just getting the course from us is pretty attractive because then you have a recruiter who's working for you, a skilling company that's working for you, and the whole recruitment team they're interested in your well-being. Whether you want to join that company or not, depending on the ask from there, your life, man, you do your thing. So you can say, no, we're not going to live your life for you, right? So.
Amazing. So then we have a question from Bhavani. How is your organization, or I guess the program, using AI? So maybe I don't know if it's being used in any teaching or anything like that. I'm not sure. In cybersecurity. And this is maybe a more existential question. Is there do you see a threat from AI? In the field, in the future?
Yes.
And how to maybe adapt to it.
Yeah. We are already seeing threats from AI in cybersecurity, and we are seeing opportunities both. The job of an L1 SOC analyst is slowly, partly being taken by AI, partly. The other part is where the human in the loop is important, etc. So AI is already crawling in. Right? If you think of it as a monster, it's crawling in and into the world, into at least L1 level jobs. Having said that, the other side is also true. Marrying AI and cybersecurity is a killer combination. At the end of the day, you will have more data, more machines, more people, more bad actors. Cybersecurity ain't going anywhere, right? And humans are important. So both threat and opportunity. To answer your question about AI in program, the answer is definitely yes. We're living in 2025. So the answer is yes. We use doubt busting through AI. We also tell you a particular things of how it is being used in the field, how it is not being used in the field. In our soft skills modules, we have an element of that as well. So the answer is yes. That's a big one.
Amazing. Seeing if I've missed any questions accidentally, but so there's definitely been some great questions so far. Please do keep them coming. We still have a little bit of time before the end of the session.
Yes. There is, yeah. The opportunity to ask. See, in the end, it is a financial decision and a career decision, and this can really catapult your career globally, India, etc. So ask as many questions, but I would also say register, check the program once. as they say in football, you never hit the goal that you haven't hit a shot on, right? So take the chance, huh? Get to know us, be enthusiastic, and get ready to start a successful cyber career, huh? So if you join these groups, you will have conversations, there will be questions. If you don't register, there's nothing, right? So nobody hurt anybody by registering, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely. It might be worth mentioning as well, just to be clear, registering, you do not automatically already pay. I'm pretty sure. So do
Yes,
not feel like you can check it out. If it's not quite something for you, there is no there is no harm. Absolutely, there is no downside to registering. But it's not as if you scan the
yes,
QR
absolutely.
code and your bank is automatically no.
It is only
So
upside, no downside. Yeah, so indeed.
absolutely, absolutely. Amazing. We've yeah. So I do not know if we've kind of covered this question in the beginning already. I'm not sure if Sani, you were there in the beginning. Do you want to very quickly, maybe just for those people who entered late, give a quick overview again on the start date and a little bit
Yes,
about the program? Yes.
yes. December 1, November 30th, we're starting at least with the cohort that we see the maximum growth in. So we're starting that. It is over 3 months. It is about 4 or 5 hours a week. So you have a well-spaced learning intervention, hard skills and soft skills and grooming, etc. So, Sana, so that's the idea. So online by a faculty who's based in France or the Netherlands. So it's an international faculty. They have very good pedigree. They're based out of France or they're based out of Netherlands, either of the two.
Yeah. And I'm guessing then that the sessions will probably be in the evening time for Indian students. Yes.
That is correct.
So if the format for IDCSS has worked for you, kind of doing around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it probably will work for you for this program as well, in terms of time zones and everything.
Yeah. And maybe I'll make my last pitch and then, of course, this is your chance. And we're only talking about chance here. This is your chance for an international launchpad, right? That launchpad can be both international or India. But in a crazy, crazy job market, how do you differentiate yourself? How do you get people who are willing to give you a little extra inch? And I think that's what you're really fighting for, right? There is no harm in joining a WhatsApp, joining a Telegram, registering. If you don't find it worthwhile, don't do it. But this is you're just fighting for the inches over here. So that's what we're saying.
Absolutely. So there is quite a long question from Ayush. If you're able to see it, it's maybe easier to read rather than me going through the whole thing. But pretty much they are asking how much expertise is required to join for an entry level position, and what is a good roadmap?
Kushbu, do you want to handle that one? I think you've already spoken to it, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just to give you an idea, Ayush, again, I don't know if you have what kind of background you have, but if you have no background in digital forensics, I would suggest the course that you are doing right now with IDCSS, please complete that. It's a great foundational course. On top of that, you need to have a domain-specific skill knowledge, which is digital forensics, if that's what you want to get into. You need to come to an organization like Blockworks Institute or anyone other than Blockworks Institute if you don't want to come to us. You need to have a specific foundational understanding of digital forensics to be able to apply for entry-level jobs. We provide that. We can, upskill you in that particular domain. And that's it. You don't have to do anything beyond that. Of course, the more you read, the better you get. But if you have the foundational +1 kind of knowledge, you are ready to enter the market.
And Ayush, I would just say all my learning and all the learning of everyone who's done successful in their career happens on the job. Do not get too worried that you need to know all the encyclopedia before you sit for the exam. You will develop into a great career if you get the right job. And I think that's
Totally.
our story. We will skill you to the level where you get the right job. Hopefully you get it, and then you can grow your career. Don't worry too much of your career when you're a student. Your life doesn't work out always perfectly. Yeah? So you will
Yeah,
grow into a great career.
totally. And of course, we are here to give you direction on what kind of jobs you need to apply for. It's not that you sit there and start shooting your CVs to each and every forensics job that's opened out there. You don't do that. We're going to guide you that this is the particular, path that you need to take when you have to apply.
Uh, Indeed.
Abs-
Alexander, in the interest of time, could I quickly take the two questions? And so, Sana, there
Absolutely,
was a
absolutely.
presentation made last time when we both of us came on the call along with our senior leaders. The PDF and PPT will be sent. Right now, the one pager is being sent, but Alexander, hopefully, we can send the PPT and the PDF to you, and then you can let us know how
Yes.
to implement it.
And what I'm also just putting actually quickly into the chat now, our YouTube channel. If you look back, I think a week or two, we uploaded the last session. So
Perfect.
that will be really great for anybody who missed it. You can rewatch it. It's about 50 minutes long. So it's got some really great information there, and there is also, of course, the PowerPoint slides as well. But we will send them as well.
Yes. Aditi, Khushbu, do you want to take a first shot, and then I'll top it off maybe?
Yes, simple, plain answer, Aditi. Yes, if you have not graduated yet, you can go ahead and apply for that role.
So one thing that I would say, Aditi, again, this is just my last comment. It depends on the company, depends on the person. But there is this thing about coffee. Huh? Sometimes when you just stir the spoon in the coffee, the person gets irritated. So if you send your CV, the person gets irritated. But for people who they like, even if you drop the coffee, they kind of like you. So it depends on the recruit. It depends on who is pushing your case. It depends on the recruiter as well. So if somebody good is pushing your case, you have a little leg up in the market.
Absolutely. So we've got 5 minutes left. I think we still have maybe time for one or two more questions before we kind of conclude and we do some last minute encouragement. So let's see if we have one or two more questions. But maybe in the meantime, while we wait for the typing, as I said, any last minute advice, last minute encouragement before the end of the call.
My advice would be to engage. And by engage, I mean engage with the people on this call, engage with people who are making a difference, right? Whether it's your previous sessions or this session, this is about jobs, right? This is about skills needed for jobs. It cannot hurt by not engaging. So engage. That's the only advice.
Amazing. Amazing. Just checking that I've not missed any questions anywhere. That would be very bad. I see here.
Alexander, we just wanted to answer one on experience, years of experience. We
Hmm.
do not, I'm just repeating, we do not need any barrier of experience, zero, middle, entry, higher. You're coming to us as a person who likes to be interested in skilling to move into the world of cybersecurity. That's the person we're looking for. We're not looking for 6 years experience, above 18, below 25. That ain't our game. Our game is if you have a dream, if you want to enter this world, we can help you knock on a door. The door opens, whether you are allowed in, your decision, how good you are. But getting you to the door is our job. And I think that's the place that we are in.
Absolutely. I think it's something that like my old teacher always said is that like attitude is worth 10 times of any other experience. So if you have, I think, the right attitude, then I think they would, God of Kashmir, they would love to have you. Because with, well, the right attitude, you can do anything. If you do not know something, you can learn it with them as well. So I think we are very quickly running out of time.
And Xander, just one last comment, and then I'll leave it to you. If
Absolutely.
normally what happens is when you're about to take a financial decision or a monetary decision, money plays on your mind, right? If it is playing on your mind, the answer is the same: engage. We'll think of something. We will have a chat, and we'll look at options. But don't let that initial hurdle get in the way of an engagement. That's the only thing that I would say.
Great, great. Well, thank you both so much. This has been a really great Q&A session. I hope that the students of you've all learned a little bit more about the career pathway and this really great opportunity, and about the partnership between IDCSS and Cyber People and Blockforce Institute. It's a really great opportunity. You see the QR code for the registration, the WhatsApp, the Telegram on the screen now. Really check it out. There's nothing to lose at all. And yeah, thank you all so much. We're in the middle of the challenge period, so I know that everyone is probably very busy and very dedicated to this. But registration, I can tell you, it literally takes 1 minute. So if you have a minute anywhere, take it. And also good luck, like I said, with the challenges. Great seeing everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.